Hey, YouTubers and toy train lovers. I got a phone call from a friend of mine who has quite a few Mike's Train House items, and they're all from the period of this particular item, which is this is a Proto one, and this is I'm guessing it's 15 or 20 years old. This was gifted to me. I didn't buy it new, so I don't recall. I don't have a great memory of when it was purchased, but I had a friend that had quite a few of these, and I would help him maintain them because he had tremors in his hands and wasn't able to get into the little parts and without breaking them. And so one of the things I found out is he would keep a locomotive sitting on the shelf for a year or two, and it wouldn't work. And he'd go, "Well, why shouldn't it work? I haven't done anything to it. It should work just fine. I haven't dropped it." And I called the train shop where he purchased it. It was Western Depot in Yuba City, California. And they told me, "Well, is it Proto?" And I said, "Yes, it is." "Does it have a 9-volt battery inside?" And I took the shell off and said, "Yes, it does." And they said, "Well, try to recharge that battery by setting it on a test track or on the regular layout. Use a multimeter and make sure you have a minimum of 9 volts." So they said, just run 10 volts through it to be safe and leave it overnight. And if the darn thing's making too much noise, because as they charge, if it's already charged and you're recharging it, you'll get your on this model you get your diesel warm-up noise, which can be annoying. And simply use the slot screw underneath the frame, which is a volume control, and turn the sound off. So we tried that, and it did not work because he'd let the darn thing set for too long. And these were the old white batteries, which I've heard complaints about. And not being an expert, I don't, with Mike's Train House items, I can't tell you if there's anything wrong with the white batteries or not. But this is the one I have because my white battery finally got to the point where it would not recharge. And so I ordered another one from Mike's Train House. I only have the one. If I had 20, I'd probably go out to Home Depot and buy a bunch of rechargeable batteries. But I wasn't in a hurry to use it. I wanted a Mike's item. And this has a nice polyplastic cover. So I think it may be for preventing leakage, battery acid leakage, and to your locomotive. And this thing has worked great. And so every 6 months, I take it out of the box. It still has its original box if I'm not running it. And I charge the darn thing. Let it set overnight. And I think that there's probably thousands of these where people can't figure out how to fix them. So they set them on a shelf because they don't want to deal with dealing with Mike's Train House repairs. And there's no reason to do that. Just, if the battery will recharge it, and that's your memory. It's your memory for your proto sound, and for whether you had it set for brake squeals or station announcements and or forward only whatever. It's got to have that battery in there to keep that memory going. So, bad battery, dead locomotive. So, that's probably the answer to 99% of why my Mike Trainhouse item doesn't work. And a couple other things I'd like to mention. You'll see a motor here. You'll see a motor here. Never lift these drivetrains by the motors because they have rather light plastic parts that mount, I guess you'd call them motor mounts, and you can break those. So lift them by the trucks and lift them by the frames. And another thing, you've got 4 screws that are used for mounting the shells to the frames, and most people just look at them and they think they're all the same. If you take a close look, 2 of the screws have flat tops. They're meant to clear this apron, and 2 of the screws have round tops because there's no problem with an apron to clear. So make sure your screws with the flat tops are in the front and the round tops are in the bottom, or you could have difficulties running the trains. Now, my last comment would be, don't run them on the old Lionel ZWs or other post-war transformers. Run them on something newer like the, I believe this is a CW80 and it's solid state. I love my ZW, but I have to admit that it has very poor circuit breakers. And if there were to be a problem, short in your newer solid state train, the circuit breaker probably won't notice it, and it'll allow it to go up in smoke. So it's great for the old post-wars, where the only thing you've got in there that's electronic is the motor and the E-unit. But these need a little more TLC. So anyway, that's from Professor Lance. That's all I really know about the Mike Trainhouse items. But that's really almost all you need to know about these, particularly the older ones. I have no idea what the newer ones are like. I have too many trains. I don't need to be going out and buying more trains. You can see my wall of marks. And thank you for watching. And once again, this has been a Big Lizard production. Bye-bye.